Hello and welcome to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show here at Mission Viejo. This is week 8 of the football season. I am your host, Jonathan Khamis. To my left, Dan Albano. To my right, Steve Fryer. We always start off with our players of the previous week, which was week 7. Dan, I'll start with you. You have a defensive guy. Who is it this week?
Yeah, I'm going with Kitty Iacopo of Fountain Valley. He's their defensive tackle, senior defensive tackle. Had 2 sacks and created a lot of havoc in the Barons' 20-7 victory over Los Alamitos. You know, big victory for Fountain Valley. You know, they're 2-0 in the league. They've won 5 in a row, and Katie was a big part of it.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Fountain Valley in that big victory over Los Alamitos. Guys, I'll go with the quarterback, Chase Garbers of Corona Del Mar. Garbers had 315 yards passing and 6 touchdowns in a 52-20 victory over Beckman. All right, finally, Steve, who do you have as your player of the past week, week 7?
Garden Grove running back Jordan Antonez, 265 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns in their big win over Rancho Alamitos, 34-3. He's got 300 carries this year in 7 games. Wow. And he's hasn't played in 3 quarters. 300 carries.
Did he miss a game?
Yeah. Yeah, like they say, he's missed about 3 to 5 quarters.
Kid's a beast.
Yeah.
But the reason why we're here is because Mission Viejo, the Diablos, are in our game of the week where it's 2 undefeated teams, both in the South Coast League. We have undefeated Mission Viejo taking on undefeated San Juan Hills. Guys, last week, you were there, Dan. Brock Johnson led a second-half comeback to defeat Tesoro. On the other side, Patrick O'Brien, he's all-world, man. He's committed to Nebraska. What really piques your interest going into this game?
Well, I'm interested to see how Mission Viejo responds to their really big first taste with the fire of a game that went down to the end. They were in a nail-biter, and I think they probably drew some confidence from that. So I want to see how that Mission Viejo defense can play. To be honest, they gave up 415 yards against passing to Devon Monster, who at times made it look like passing league. He really shredded them in the first half. Now Mission faced another great quarterback in Patrick O'Brien. So can the Diablos play some better defense and maybe be a little bit more of a shutdown unit?
Can Patrick O'Brien at home lead the Stallions to a victory?
Yeah, he can, but I'm going to go with Mission in this game, and Dan's got it right. I agree with you, Danny. It's all about that defensive effort that Mission's got to go. They're very fast on defense, and I think that's a very disruptive thing that they have to do too. And then Brock Johnson, he just keeps getting better and better. What a clutch second half he had. Sort of if you will, a Brocktoberfest, if you will. Sorry.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yes, I did. But anyway, also I think what Mission has to do is really get a running game going pretty early, take the pressure off of Johnson. Got to control the clock and control possessions and not turn the ball over.
We caught up with Mission Viejo earlier. Here's what they had to say.
He's a good player. We certainly do have to stop him among other good players that they have. They're a talented group, and that's why they're undefeated, and we're looking forward to it.
I think this is the best our league has been because there's a lot of good talent, a lot of good players.
Yeah, I love it. It's the best league, I think, in the county and in our division, other than maybe the Trinity League, and gets us ready for the playoffs for sure.
We actually are really well prepared for this because we played the La Habra quarterback, who's really good, and we played the Norco guy, who's going to Michigan. So we've had a lot of experience with these type of quarterbacks, and it's prepared us for the league.
Orange Lutheran versus Santa Margarita at Orange Coast College this Friday night. Orange Lutheran with a comeback victory, beating Servite in the final seconds. I mean, it doesn't get any more exciting than that. 37-36. Dan, Orange Lutheran, they lost the previous week to Mater Dei, but here they are 1-1 in league. And this game is a game that no team can afford to lose, especially Santa Margarita. They lost KJ Costello, but they still got the win last week.
Yeah, that was real impressive to beat Jace here without KJ. This is a big game. That's the game I'm going to be out on Friday at Orange Coast College. This is a big opportunity, and this could for Orange Lutheran that these and Santa Margarita could be playing for potentially 3rd place or higher. Santa Margarita did a nice real nice rebound after they had a tough time against Bosco, like I think everybody's going to do. So it's going to be a really good game. I think it's a big opportunity. The winner of this game is going to be positioned very nicely in the Trinity League.
Yeah, I would believe so as well. Steve, you caught Santa Margarita last week, right? Yeah, and you saw their backup, Richard Wagner, I believe it is. You made a joke. What was that about?
You'd have to know your German opera history to get it. But, speaking of Wagner was a great composer. in the 1800s. And we're getting some music back here. It's game day atmosphere
Not
here.
quite
with the drums going.
Wagner-esque.
Not Wagner-esque. No rings
what
music
is?
here.
Yeah.
But anyway, Wagner looked really good. He's got a good arm, and he runs it pretty well too. And you know, 2 guys on defense, Dan. I know you love watching the defensive guys and your prospects. Alex Stewart, defensive end, and Tanner Matthews, linebacker, and Matt Mark, linebacker. Holy mackerel, those guys were flying around. So that was pretty good. Boy, that's going to be a really tough football game. I'm interested to see how that one comes out. Could be another real close one.
Yeah, you know, it's a good point about Matthews and Mark. You know, with the way Orange Lutheran, I think they only threw LJ Northington only had like 6 passes last week against Servite, so they really pounded it. So you could see if they pounded again against Santa Margarita with all those linebacker matchups, it could be some good smash mouth football.
Yeah, Northington had 144 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in that game. So that'll do it for this week for the Gridiron Show, but we implore you to check out the OCVarsity Gridiron Extra tomorrow, where we will preview Servite and Mater Dei. That's the big one every single year. That'll be at Angel Stadium. So thanks to Dan Albano, thanks to Steve Fryer, thanks to Mission Viejo for having us. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis, and for all your latest high school football updates, check out OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered. And
what does implore mean?
You know, you got to look it up. It's in the dictionary under I.
I have a dictionary app.
IMP.